ledger in TotalMD is where you're going to go to enter in the charges and dates of service for a patient. Also gives you access to lots of other areas for the program relative for the patient. To get there, you can click on Activities at the top left and go down to where it says Ledger, or hit the F7 key on your keyboard. You can also use our quick links here on the top and just click on Ledger here. Once the ledger is open, the first thing you want to do is select a patient. Now here in the ledger, you have access to many different areas of the program. For example, if you wanted to add a new patient on the fly, simply right-click here where it says Chart Number and go to New Patient, or hit your F8 key. You can also hit F6 to search for a patient. If you want to search maybe by birth date or state or something like that, you can hit F6 or click on Search. You can also edit the patient's record if you need to change any details on it by hitting the F9 key on the keyboard, or simply click Edit Patient. Also, once you're back here in the ledger, if you go over a little bit to the right of where it says Chart, you can click on that magnifying glass. That also brings up the search options to find a patient. And then even a little further to the right, if you'll notice when you put your mouse over the patient's name, it turns it into a hyperlink. This allows me to click on this patient name, also giving me ability to edit the patient's record and make any changes that are needed. Since this is a brand new patient, the first thing I need to do, go over here on the left side and click on New Billing. Now to enter in a charge, you would click here on the grid below where it says Code and type in your procedure code. We'll just do the standard office visit, the 99213, which is the only procedure code we have set up here, and hit Enter. Now that I hit Enter, it brings up the defaults I've set up for 99213, including the charge amounts and any modifiers or anything I may have set up under that procedure code. Going over a little further to the right, we're going to change our diagnosis to just a standard fever. That's why the patient came in. But let's say, for example, the patient came in for a fever, but also had some back pain as well and needed a massage. To add the next procedure or service, I'm going to hit my down arrow key on the keyboard, which will jump to the next line in the ledger. Here under code, I'll add in the procedure code for massage. I don't have that set up yet, so I'm going to right click on this and do new account code, where I can add in the procedure code for massage. We'll use a 97124 and just call this a massage. Change your type to fee for service. Now, just like in the other videos that we went through and how to set up these procedure codes, you can set up defaults for this CPT code as well on the screen. Once you're done, just click on Save Changes and takes you right back to the ledger, where I now have massage set up as a 97124. Now, I forgot to enter in the actual fee that I would charge for that, so I could go back and edit the code and update that procedure to have the correct fee amount, but let's just type it in here. We'll say it's a $75 charge. Now coming over here to the diagnosis, we want to give the reason why we give this massage to the patient, and we can say they had lower back pain, which I don't have as an ICD-10 code. So again, I'm going to right click and do New Diagnosis Code. Here I'll type in the code, which is an M54.50. Type in the description, and then click on Save Changes. Now it's added that new diagnosis code in for this procedure. One thing you'll notice with these two procedure codes, you can see the office visit has the diagnosis code of R50.9 as well as a massage, but the massage has this additional code which is the M5450. If we wanted these two charges to be on the same claim, we want to make sure that those diagnosis codes match up. That way they'll put them both in the same claim. Now we can also go a little bit further and tell the insurance which procedures line up with these diagnosis codes by using the indicators over here on the right side. For example, this procedure code was not relevant to diagnosis 2 because they did not come in for that lower back pain, they came in for the fever. However, the massage was not because of the fever they had, but because lower back pain. So now I've checked that this procedure code, the 99213, is applied to the diagnosis code of R50.9. And now the massage procedure code of 97124 is now applied to this diagnosis code of M5450. Now this is a real nice way to keep both these charges on the same claim. If there are any additional fields that you would like to add to this grid that you need to change on the fly once in a while, over here on the left side, you can click on Customize View. So let's add maybe the place of service, because sometimes that place of service may change. Over here on the left side, I find the field that says place of service, click on this arrow on the right, and it adds it to there. I can find it at the bottom of the list and use these up and down arrows to move it where I want it to be in the grid. Let's put it right after the fee. Now that I click OK, it's going to add that column now, place of service, right after the fee that I put there. And here, I can add things if I want to change on the fly. This whole grid here in the ledger is customizable. You can drag columns around and move them if you like by simply clicking and dragging your mouse around to put in the position that you want that column in. Once you're done with this patient and you want to go to the next patient to add more charges, simply hit the Control C key and that jumps you right up to the chart number and you can start typing in the next chart number. If you don't want to use the keyboard, just come up here to the chart number again and find the next patient that you want to do.